Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Hypermine Vanilla. We are not at the witch farm. We're not at the iron farm. We're not at the skelly farm. Where are we? Is this the middle of nowhere? Nope. We're at the spooky village. We've got a little build for it. So, let's get started. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, we're not at one of our standard project places. We are at some spot between Port Hypermine that way and Basket Station that way. You can see we've got a couple of interesting builds hanging out right here, and we are going to be around here today. So right here we've got a spooky haunted house from Twinkles, and that is a haunted treasure hunt. And it's got some magma blocks in front of it. And then over on this side that we can't get to easily, I do believe this is from JB Warsmith, fellow Hyperminer. Let's see, any signs here? Nothing. I'm not sure if he's done. I think it is JB Warsmith, but we're not going to be going through those today. No, I had a thought for an idea for my own little spooky build. And so what I've done off camera, I have come along here, cut in a special path off to the side. We've got path blocks and podzol and soul sand just coming off to the side here and making it nice and easy to walk around. Hopefully we're not intruding too much on Twinkle's build here. And then wherever I did happen to cut through and open up the forest a bit, what I've done is I've pushed back the forest, the spruce trees right there. And so that should keep it still kind of secluded. Now, I've cut out a wide clearing here just to make sure that we have enough space to do what we need to do today. And so I should have all of that in place right now. So we need an 11 by 13 area. So that should be marked out clearly here by the cobblestone. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Sure enough. Good. Now, here's what we got to do. We are going to be building with some interesting choices. And as we start building, some of you may recognize what we're working on. And if you do, awesome. If not, well, hopefully by the end of it, it all makes sense. So I think this is going to be sufficient to come in like this, and we can knock out our cobblestone markers right there. And I hope that is correct. So we should be able to do this and this. So while I'm laying this out and maybe making you kind of think about what's going on here, let's just chat. See, I don't. One of the things for me is that my family hasn't always celebrated quote unquote Halloween. I didn't really grow up with it, but recently with getting married and having kids, it's really fun to see them come out and just get excited about dressing up and the various things that go along with that. And what we've discovered is that we are in a new place, and in terms of where we're living, some of you may realize or remember that we moved not too long ago, and the place in which we are now living is it's a lot. It gets a lot of traffic on October the 31st. That's just around the corner, which is why we're doing this, by the way. So this video should be coming out on Friday the 29th. So that's why you get kind of this idea here on Hypermine of what we're doing. So Twinkle's got the ball rolling. She started out with her haunted house there, and that is a tutorial that she's done on her her channel as well. So if you have not seen it, if you have not subscribed to her channel, do go check that out so you can see what she's been up to. And my phone is going off. There we go. Okay, that's a little alarm that I have set. I record these at night, and so I have an alarm set for helping my kids get to bed, and sometimes I fall asleep while I'm doing that. So I have a little alarm set to keep me awake, and that was the late alarm there. All right. So you may be wondering, what in the world are you building? This looks scary indeed. You've got some scary block choices. Yes, I do. Just wait till we really get going with this. I'm not fully revealing the entirety of this particular build. So yeah, hopefully it doesn't end up too badly for you. But this is actually a build that I have done in a couple of different flavors in or on other servers rather. And if it looks kind of familiar by now, this is, well, we've got a bunch of so-called ugly blocks, right? Yeah, so we're using some acacia. We've got some netherrack in here. That's not where I wanted those stairs. But yeah, let's, what we're doing is just building with some otherwise unloved block choices. And I hope that by the end of this, maybe you come to a new appreciation for some of these blocks. And here we go. We're actually bringing in some rather bold choices here. Yeah, we got some watermelon. Yep, here we go. And we should be good to go right there. Let's just get rid of that. Okay, so far you can see it coming in. So my entry here for this spooky village is an entry for, this is a rather spooky combination of blocks. And most people generally would not be building with these. And I would say it's probably a good thing. These blocks are not the prettiest, but this is actually a build that I did on a previous server as a prank for one of the members who used to run a challenge called the Ugly Block Challenge. It's Zadecraft. It was, you know, I didn't get into the YouTubing thing until after he had pretty much finished up that challenge. And we've got a few new blocks that we're going to be adding in here that have been added to Minecraft since he stopped doing the Ugly Block Challenge. I guess they've gotten better about adding nicer looking blocks, so maybe it's not such an issue any longer. But yeah, we're just going to do that, okay? And right here, I'm adding some jack-o'-lanterns. It's going to do a couple of things. One, there are some aesthetic things that we are trying to consider here. One, we need some light in the build. Jack-o'-lanterns have built-in light level of 15. And then also, you notice that we're putting these in a particular order. So when you put jack-o'-lantern in, it's got a face that is pointed towards you. I want that face turned towards these columns that are off to the side. Definitely don't want acacia right there. We are doing something else right, like so. And this is, well, anyway, this is the point of the jack-o'-lantern. So we're going to be using some more jack-o'-lanterns on the roof as well. And so there we go. All right. Now, once we get this general structure in, maybe we can step back and take a look a little bit at what we have done. And I hope I have not lost some of you by the time we're at this point in the video. Some of you may be really questioning my sanity. But again, this, you know, you can have spookiness from trying to scare the patrons that visit your house, or you could have different surprises in store for them. And I think that's what Twinkles has done. I haven't gone in there. She's got a nice little kind of treasure hunt, if you will. And I have not watched anybody's videos on that because I want it to remain a secret. We're not going to do that on camera this time. I'm going to record that after I build this thing. And what do we need to do now? We have got to put down the bed. Can we do that? Yes. Okay. Let's just clear away. That had some questions on a recent episode about that little thing. That is a command block contraption that T.O. Lone Wolf has put together for us here on the server. Among other things, we also have something that keeps Endermen from destroying the landscape. And so those are installed in command blocks near the spawn point. So you can't actually see the command blocks because they're buried down near the bedrock, I believe. And we can't get to them here. Only T.O. can get to those when he's in OP mode. And I think that is perfectly fine. I like having the one bed sleep system. It certainly makes things a lot easier from a content creation standpoint. What are we going to do here? So we'll do that. And then I think that's what we want to do. Let's put the bed up, bring in the soul sand again. The whole idea here is to bring in a bunch of ugly blocks all into one build. That's why I did this thing initially, just to prank Zaid back on the Too Crafty server. But I figure, you know what? It's a scary time of year, right? That's what everybody's going for, trying to scare each other. And so this is going to be my trick. You know, everybody says trick or treat, right? So we're going to play a trick on my fellow hyperminers. I'm sorry for assaulting your eyes for this, guys, but it'll be worth it. Don't you worry. I've got a little treat in mind once this whole thing is built. Okay, we'll put that there, and you go right there. I do believe that is sufficient for now, so we can actually knock this out and this out. That's not a silk touch. Okay, that's fine. Fine. Whatever. Do that. And then I thought I had a silk touch. Maybe it's still in here. Yeah. So let's do that. We'll pull out the silk touch since we are working with glass some. And I think what I need to do is put something right there like that. Okay. So where do we go from here? What we need to do is kind of dress up the outside a bit. What are you talking about dressing this thing up? It's ugly. Well, maybe. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, right? Everybody says that. So maybe this is an eye of the beholder type thing. So definitely didn't want that. I'm looking forward to 1.11 where we don't have that little bug anymore. I pointed at the top of that block and you saw that it did not obey my intentions there. So what we're doing here is breaking up the kind of boring flat structure of the house here, bringing in some depth and detail. That's what everybody goes for in these builds. And so we're just bringing in some stairs, some upside down stairs, and then also continuing to use the acacia, pointing out the ugly orange pink side of this log. That is the whole point of this block or this build, to get as ugly as possible. Okay, so I think that completes that portion. Really what we need to do now, since we've got all of the logs in place, we can come along with buttons, right? Buttons always add a nice touch to the ends of logs right there, right? So we'll just do that all the way around, and then we're also going to bring in some fences and gates, because that's common for adding some visual interest to builds. I see you sheep over there. Be careful. I do like using mutton lately, thanks to Lapis Lori bringing all the fresh mutton over to the witch farm a few episodes ago. All right, so now what do we got to do? Well, we got to kind of do like so, and then, let's get the stairs close to the slabs. That way it's easy to just come around like that. Kind of see what we're doing here. And this is kind of repetitive so far, but this build really shouldn't take that long. If you want to build something like this, you can kind of see there's a general structure to it. We're working on the odds. We've got distinct 3 wide window sections, and they're split up by a single column right in the middle. And there's a distinct pattern with that. The netherrack forms the outer column, and the soul sand forms the inner columns. So again, I'm still using some basic design principles. It's just you might question my sanity for the block choices. And hopefully this proves very, very spooky indeed for any of my fellow hyperminers who happen to be visiting back here. And who knows, who knows. One of the reasons why I picked back here as well is it's kind of tucked behind here, and so you don't really know what you're getting into until you get back here. So yeah, anyway, my apologies ahead of time. Let's do this and this right on the corners just to fill out that structure like that. And then what I want to do is showcase what we've got planned for our additional detail here. So I'm going to do most of this part off camera because it is a bit repetitive, but you can see kind of what we're doing right like that. And we'll do like so and like so. I believe that's it. Oh, no. So we got one here and here. Yeah, there we go. All right, and then on each of those, we come up and can we add a torch? Let's see. We may have to physically add that torch. Let's try this. Let's see if we can get it. Yes. Okay. So we have to do that on our fences there and there. And we do the same. No, we just kind of have to walk up here and do this. Okay, so I'm going to do the rest of these off camera because it can get a bit fiddly. But let me take care of that, and I'll bring you back once we're ready to start on the roof. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go with the roof structure. We're going to start with some upside down stairs like this all the way around. And, doing those fences and gates, the point of that, usually in a more serious build, you will actually add fences and gates to it to, again, break up the monotony of a single plane of a particular block choice. And so it is a bit tongue-in-cheek to say that, we're not using standard design principles, but we are using things that are techniques that one might do when actually building a so-called real build. So you can take the principles that I am talking about here and apply them to actual builds. Okay, so you want a variety of textures. Certainly you want to make sure that you place your blocks correctly as well. And I should have enough extra that I don't have to worry about that stair. So this particular build, I've got a copy of it in my creative testing world. And that I was able to load into MC Edit and put into the Analyze tool. MC Edit allows you to select an area, and it will tell you the number of blocks and the type of blocks that are in that particular region. So that's what I did for this one, so I know exactly what we need for materials. Now we do have a couple of double chests full of stuff because of having to clear out the area and kind of re-landscape the area. So that's something to keep in mind. You always want to have a little extra storage room when you're doing something like this. All right, so that's that outer part of the roof done. And let's come over to, to my screenshots that I'm working from. And we come along with some more stairs. This has a double purpose here. One, it's going to make the roof a little more interesting if you are on top of the roof. And the other thing is that it's non-spawnable, although we are going to be taking care of spawns anyway. That outer block though, with those upside down stairs, those are spawnable. So it's one of the things that I always try to keep in mind, is watching for spawnable spaces, especially if other people are going to be dealing with what I'm building. So the way we're dealing with the spawns is we are going to be using jack-o'-lanterns here, and you notice the direction that I faced those eyeballs. There is technically a direction for those. I guess I could pay more attention to that, but the main thing here is that I don't want the eyes to be visible from the outside here. And then on the inside, what we do is we come back in with some acacia wood, and we will go, I do believe, yeah, it's just like that. So we fill in with slabs, and then we can turn our attention to the inside. So let me finish out the ceiling, and then we will go, we'll drop down to the inside of the building. All right, we've got a server restart in 10 minutes, so we need to make this quick. Now, you don't have to worry about the server restart so much, but it's kind of it's a little timer for me also. I don't want this episode to run on too long. It's just a quick build that should be fairly simple to put together. And yeah, I just wanted to get this done and just really show off my my building ability here. And that's tongue-in-cheek. We are using known problematic blocks here that you usually don't use except for accents. Really, you don't want to actually mess with these, but what we're going to do now is work on the floor, and this is where we are going to get into some more controversial block choices. So I hope that I don't lose too many of you here. So we've got to clear out this area. Maybe I should have done this already, but I think that it should be fine. Let's put a piece of dirt right there, and we need yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, there we go. So we don't have to do as much on that floor. Go like that and that. Okay, we'll dig this out, and then we'll replace any dirt that we inadvertently dug up, like right there. Okay, so our canvas is set, and what we're going to do is come out here with granite. Yes, of course we're going to do granite. So this is a site, a feast for the eyes, for those of you that really care about certain block choices in Minecraft. And then we come to the corners here. We're going to put some more netherrack in. Beautiful blocks here. And then we're going to come in with some hay bales. No. We're going to go like this. And this could be something with the texture pack I'm using. I am using the BWO texture pack. Hopefully I got this correct. And then I'm going to use the top of this to make it look kind of like carpet. And I think that's fine. You can actually use hay bales for a type of carpet. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Our build, the main building, is done. Okay, so what we're going to do now is grab this, and maybe we'll have some armor stands as well. But what I'm going to do is leave a little sign here for hyperminers, and I'll take care of that off camera. But for now, what I also need to do is do some of the landscaping around. I'll get this sign done, and I'm going to leave a little present for hyperminers that happen to actually put up with this overall atrocious looking build. So we're going to leave them a little treat. And anyway, let me take care of that. I'll meet you back after the server restart as well, and hopefully the rest of this will be put together. Now I am in cleanup mode, and I'm walking along the path here. You can see that I've done a little bit of work. I've gotten some bone meal. I've started just going along the path and kind of making it a little bit more overgrown, like so. Just getting rid of flowers along the way, making it look like, oh, well, this path has not been trodden in quite some time. Of course, that's not the case. We're just making things seem other than they are. And I don't want the flowers, but I do want to hide some of this stuff. And yeah, like that. So we'll walk along here. You can see also I filled in even more all the way around with some more spruce trees. So really, really filled in there. There's a little bit of that plains biome peeking through, but there's not much I can do. I think these 2x2s have been placed there by Twinkles or JB Warsmith for purposes of materials collection, and that's fine. We'll just leave them as is, but you can't grow anything right next to them because spruce trees are a little bit finicky when growing, so I couldn't get anything even closer to those. So let's just go along here. You can kind of see kind of what I've been doing. We'll just do that. Wherever I see a little bit more that needs to be done, we take care of it. And then we'll come along here. Excuse me. And what I've done is added in more of these spruce trees all the way around, really enveloping the entire build in this taiga. And we'll come in here. And we've got the building was a trick inside. Here is a treat. Take one. I'm not going to show you. You will have to watch the other hyperminers to see what it is that I left in there. So feel free to go check out their videos to see what they might be getting. But anyway, it is an actual treat. It's not a trick. That is a regular. That's too close. It's a regular chest. It's not a trap chest or anything. Certainly wouldn't want to blow up my own build, but just for grins and giggles, you can take a look at the F3 screen. Minecraft chest, not trap chest. So there you go. There is a treat in there. And another thing I've done, brought in some armor stands and then put some gravel in on top of those, just like the pumpkins are kind of sticking out of the ground. And we've got some guards over here watching over. They kind of blend in. And I found one of these signs over in the Port Hypermine train station. So I figured, you know what? We'll just grab that, put it over here. It's kind of unsettling. Right on this hill, I couldn't grow anything more. Again, spruce trees can be a bit finicky. So nothing right here. We'll just have to content ourselves with making it look overgrown with all of this grass. But there you go. I think that pretty much does it for this episode. Hopefully you enjoyed this little build, this rather ugly build. And we will pull off the HUD there and take a little screenshot. If you enjoyed, a like is always appreciated. And if you haven't done so already, think about subscribing so you're up to date with everything going on the channel. Do go check out Twinkles and JB Warsmith. JB Warsmith streams primarily, so twitch.tv/JB Warsmith, and Twinkles is on YouTube. You can find the relevant links on the Hypermine subreddit, and a link to that is in the description box down below. So go check that out. You can see everything going on in there. Next week, I am going to take a tour of this. We didn't have time in this one, so next episode, we are going to be taking a tour of both of these builds, hopefully, if we have time. But yeah, so you can look forward to that, and I'll see you then. Thank you so much for watching, and until next week, bye-bye.